One sec, we have a slight delay in the room. Give us a second, those online. Of course not. It's all his fault. There you go. See, I do the same thing, bro. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's begin. Our next topic is the Matagorda Ship Channel Planning and Development for the Future Growth of Calhoun County and the Mid-Texas Coast. Presenting today, we have Charles Hausmann, the Port Director of Calhoun County. Not many people know this, but when I came to the district, 96, 97, I was a junior planner, and one of my first projects was a small project working with TxDOT, and the PM I had to work with was Charles Hausmann, and we've gone full circle to today. So it's good that we've both focused and kept our focus on the Texas coast and what's good for this nation in his current role with the Port of Calhoun County. And with him is the PM, Ms. Franchelle Nealy. Though not an Aggie, she's in the Aggie subsystem, graduate of Prairie View A&M. She came to the Corps through construction, via construction branch, and over to PM now, where she is actively involved in not only this project, but several others that help towards our mission. So Franchelle and Charles, the floor is yours.
Slide. Yeah. There you go. We can go on to the next one too. Thanks. First off, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to come and speak today. One of the things that I love speaking about is I love speaking about the Calhoun Port Authority and our port. Port Authority was established in 1953 by the state of Texas legislature. We are the non-federal sponsor for the Matagorda Ship Channel. That ship channel from Sea Buoy into the harbor is 26 miles long. Currently, we are the shallowest deep draft channel along the Texas Gulf Coast at minus 38 feet mean lower low water. In 2019, we were the 76th busiest waterway in the nation, moving over 5.2 million tons. Most of those products, chemicals, petrochemicals, fertilizer, some bulk material, dry bulk, different things like that. But the impact to the state and nation is $8 billion on 5.2 billion tons. We directly support an indirect and induced jobs of 38,000 in the state of Texas alone. We started our Matagorda Ship Channel Improvement Project in 2016. I want to pay tribute to the Corps with the 333 plan. We started that in August of 2016. We had a chief's report November of 2019. The team did an outstanding job going through that feasibility study and the report, keeping us on time to where we're at, where we are today. We approximately have a $212 million project, of which the port, of course, is on the hook for about $80 million. The reason I've got this pictured here down on the bottom is this project is really important to us, but this is Chester Island, probably one of the most prolific rookeries along the Texas Gulf Coast. I've been at the port over 22 years. Ever since we've been there, we've been working through the Corps Audubon Society to bring material from the Matagorda Ship Channel, placing it onto Chester Island, creating new land, making sure it stayed. The importance of this with our project, we're going to double the size of that island. We've been currently working with the Corps and the Audubon Society. So that island is going to increase twofold. Next slide, please. With that, it brings a lot of goals and opportunities for the port to improve our navigational efficiencies, safety, and the deep draft navigation channel itself. Significant transportation cost savings. We're going to go from minus 38 feet MLLW to minus 47 feet. What that does is allow us to load more cargo, lower transportation costs, positive benefit, attract more industry into the county, and create more jobs. Over a 10-year period, once this channel is complete, over $1 billion of direct investment into the port will take place with over 1,000 jobs created. When you're looking at a county like Calhoun County, Calhoun County is a small county. We've got 20,000 people. So over a 10-year period, creating 1,000 jobs, that's tremendous for the people and citizens of Calhoun County. Also, the good thing with this is we'll be able to utilize dredge material to do beneficial projects, help with shoreline restructure and restore significant ecological and historical resources. But one of the things that we have been doing, and it gives us the opportunity to work with conservation and resource groups to do things with our material that we need to do. But we've also been working on what is called environmental social governance. My S doesn't have squared. We're just doing ESG. So what we're doing there is we have recently just finished a pre-feasibility report, and that feasibility report should be coming to me within the next 30 days. What we're looking at, because the port itself owns 49,000 acres of submerged land in Matagorda and Lavaca Bays. We have the opportunity, a unique opportunity, to create habitats, marsh, even upland, planting trees and different things to reduce the carbon footprint. Why is that important? Because right now the port is relatively small. We have a small carbon footprint. We can get out ahead of the curve, offset that carbon footprint, and continue to bring down and work with anybody and everybody to do what's right. And whether it's economic or not, it's got to be environmentally friendly. The other issue that I have here and that we've been working on is our ship channel jetties. If you see the picture here in the middle at the bottom with the yellow, that's our ship channel jetty system. No place else in the United States are you going to see a design like this. It bottlenecks, it comes in, and what that does, it's called Bernoulli's principle. As it gets into the narrow, the current increases. Working through the Galveston district, which I am very thankful, and working through headquarters, we were able in 2020 to actually get this declared a design deficiency. An $80 million project, which we're on the hook about 22.7 million, but we're still coordinating and trying to work out the actual cost share that the port is going to have, because we went back to the original 50-50. Now we're at 1986 for it at 25%, and we're trying to make sure that we have that in the right place when we move forward with it. Then I had to put my friend's picture that always sit outside my window, my two pelicans. They're always out there and going. Next slide, please. This is what we are looking at doing. We have already designed 3 deep draft berths capable of handling an 830 by a 145 Africa class vessel. You can see at the top where it says Lavaca Bay, you can see a portion of the area that's actually the new project where we will have our turning basin and widen entrance into the channel. What this does, though, one of the things that we've been talking about and looking at people, with each of these berths, as we complete those and they go online, with local industry and the people that are there, you're going to create anywhere from 10 to 15 jobs just to work each of those berths. So right up front with all of this, we should be looking at 400 jobs probably within the next 2 years. But like I said before, within the next 10 years, over 1,000 jobs or more. Next slide, please. And this I just wanted to put in here and show. This is just an overview of our bay system. You can see where we come in through the ship channel jetties all the way up into Lavaca Bay. The depth that we're going to, again, minus 47 feet. And we want to make sure that everything that we are doing is the way it's supposed to be. And that's why we've been working so close with the Army Corps. And they've been doing a fantastic job getting us to where we're at today. Just to kind of close on that, the ship channel itself, we do on average 300 vessels a year, you know, and we do about 1,200 barges every year. But again, the main thing is even at 5.2 million tons per year, the cost to the country or the revenue going into the country is over $8 billion. So you're talking over $650 million a month if something were to happen and that ship channel closed. And that's all I got right now. I'm going to turn it over to Franchelle.
Okay, just to start off with some historical facts about the channel. In 1910, Congress originally authorized navigational improvements in the Matagorda Bay area under the River and Harbors Act. This authorization provided for an 8-mile long channel measuring 7 feet deep and 80 feet wide. In 1935, the same act also authorized the upper end of the channel to be extended a distance of 1 mile to the shoreline at the entrance of Lynn Bayou. Next, in 1937, the act authorized the enlargement of the channel from Lynn Bayou at Port Lavaca to deep water in Matagorda Bay near the port of O'Connor. This act provided for the channel extension to become a total distance of 20 miles. In March of 1945, the act extended the channel and provided for a harbor of refuge, 9 feet deep near Port Lavaca. In 1958, Congress authorized construction of a deep draft navigation channel. There was also addition of an inner channel at 36 feet deep and dual jetties. After a pre-construction design, it was noted that the entrance channel moved to where the location is now. WERDA 2020 authorized the Matagorda Ship Channel to be deepened and widened at the current recommended plan from the feasibility phase. Below, you'll see some charts from our dredging history. We have around 10 plus years of dredging the inner bay and also the entrance channel. If there are any questions about O&M, the O&M manager is Aaron Edwards, and he'll be able to answer any questions that you have. Moving on to our National Economic Development Plan, or NED plan, which is our approved plan by Congress. Our plan is to deepen in the main channel to 47 feet. We want to deepen in the entrance channel to 49 feet, widen the main channel to 300 feet, go back and widen the entrance channel to 550 feet. We're going to construct a new turning basin. We're going to deepen the Point Comfort turning basin to 47 feet. Relocation of aids and navigation. We're going to also create new in-bay placement areas, create a sand engine, have some relocation of pipelines, and then we're going to do some environmental mitigation. And the picture here is just kind of basically showing our plan for the recommended plan. So what's our plan and how are we going to do this? Our plan is to construct the channel and improve the channel in 5 contracts. We're going to have an interest channel contract. That's going to be hopper dredging. That material is going to be placed offshore. Then we're going to have a lower bay portion of the channel. That's going to be pipeline dredging. Our goal is to have 2 dredges on that contract, dredging concurrently. That material is going to be placed in our newly created placement areas 1, 2, and 3. And then like Charles talked about, we're going to place material in Chester Island. Right now, the team is currently working with our interagency coordination team and the Audubon Society to get the design correct, and so we can use this material for beneficial use. Our mid-bay construction is also going to be a pipeline dredging. Our goal is to have 2 pipeline dredges on that contract also to dredge at the same time. Material will be placed in our newly created placement areas 3, 4, and 5 along the channel. Upper bay dredging will be also pipeline. Our plan too is to have 2 dredges during that time also, and then material will be placed in placement areas 6 and 7. And then lastly, we're going to come with an environmental mitigation contract, some oyster reefs. And right now the team is currently working on 95% plans and specs for the interest channel that will be ready to advertise in July. Subject to any questions.
Yes, there's one question here. How does the Corps' goals around social and environmental justice reconcile with the conveniently omitted details in this presentation about this project unearthing mercury from the existing Alcoa Superfund site?
Yeah, so the EPA, we mentioned the interagency coordination. EPA is a coordinating partner. EPA has governance over the Superfund sites in and around Lavaca Bay. Largely EPA, through the process of coordination and completing the federal plan and the environmental impact statement for the federal plan. EPA asked us to develop a certain sampling plan. We developed that sampling plan, and we have that sampling plan ongoing. We received the initial results for so far on sampling, and we've got no actionable levels of mercury in any of the samples that we've received to date. And that sampling plan includes the center line of the channel, the maintenance material, and the new work material. Right now, we've been dredging Matagorda Bay. We've moved 40 million cubic yards of material in Matagorda Bay, specifically along the Matagorda Ship Channel over the last 20 years. Through that last 20 years, we've sampled all of that material, and we've never had actionable levels of mercury. So we are confident that we're doing the appropriate measures because largely we want to use that material beneficially. And we're not going to, we don't have the authority to use material beneficially if it has actionable levels of contamination that's governed by EPA. But we do depend on EPA largely to advise and be part of the coordinating agency team moving forward. And EPA remains on board, remains in a position of coordinating authority to direct us, not really tracking any specific issues right now. But if those specific issues come up, we will address them together with the EPA. Fortunately, like I said, we have no actionable levels of mercury detected in any of the sampling. If EPA wants us to do more sampling, by all means, we do additional sampling. But again, right now, nothing actionable in terms of what we've determined pre-construction engineering and design. Doesn't mean we're not listening. It doesn't mean we won't sample. We want to do the right thing, particularly in terms of the placement of the material. But again, we place material out of that channel every year. We're dredging on that channel within the next 30 days for maintenance activity as it is. 1 out of every 2 days in a given year, we have a dredge on the Matagorda Ship Channel moving material out of the Matagorda Ship Channel. It was shoaled in after Hurricane Nicholas. We have a responsibility to remove that material, and we'll be doing that in the next month, restoring it to its original navigation depths following Hurricane Nicholas from last year. So moving that material is just something that we do by matter routine, as well as the sampling by matter routine. So I don't necessarily agree with the statement that we're leaving anything out. If there was something actionable, we would do the appropriate, we would take the appropriate responsibility with the coordinating agency in terms of EPA to deal with the material underneath the lawful authorities that govern how we deal with those materials. Anything to add, Charles?
I mean, you know, we have a settlement agreement with Alcoa, the company that's there. So in the event there were actionable levels found, what we'll end up doing is more and more sampling will be done, and you will build a box of where all of that material is. That material will be taken completely out of the bay. It will be done in a separate and put into a confined upland placement area. So you're actually removing material when it's found from the bay, not leaving it there. We have not seen any yet.
Any questions from the room? Okay. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Franchelle.